What's going on, everybody? Corey here, and this week I want to talk about entitlement and magic. And before we get started, I just want to, if you hear me sounding like I'm gasping for air or a bead of sweat running down my face, I did just get done mowing my yard, but the house is empty. It's all mine, so I get to come in and record without any interruptions other than a cat. So I figure I'd take that chance to do that. But entitlement and magic. This really comes from something I saw recently on Instagram. I believe it was Ollie Mealing had posted. I think that he was going to be raising rates. I think that's what it said. I don't remember for sure. I don't remember off the top of my head, but something was he was basically going to have to do something about his membership because there's people out there that are sharing their username and password to get in to get access to the tricks that he puts out. And I don't subscribe to, I'm not part of Mealing's membership. For me, it's just a little too pricey right now, especially. But it made me start thinking about just all the entitlement. And there's always been some kind of entitlement in Magic. Magicians sharing things that aren't theirs to share. But as we've gotten more into the future, weird way to do it, but in the present time where everything's got like more and more stuff's digital, there's stuff on YouTube. We do have a generation that learned on YouTube that thinks, a lot of them, I don't want to say they all think, but there's good chunk of them that think that Magic should be easily accessible. It should be free. There shouldn't be a paywall. That it's there to be shared. And Magic's a lot like anything else, in my opinion. If you don't pay for it, like you're not likely to put in the work for it. I don't know. It's very frustrating because I do think that we need some accessibility to Magic. But if that comes at a cost of people feeling entitled that they are owed accessibility to all Magic or exclusive Magic, then maybe the accessibility should be tightened up even more. When I was growing up, you might see David Copperfield on TV or Lance Burton or some kind of Magic special, be it Penn and Teller, whoever it may be, or a World's Greatest Magic special coming on, or you might have a magician that's playing at your, working at your birthday party or a friend's birthday party, or you just stumble across a prank store or something that happens to sell Magic, or a store that has Magic stuff. Or your parents get you a Magic kit. Those were kind of the ways that you kind of got introduced when I was younger into Magic. And then if it was something that you wanted to pursue, you had to put in the legwork. You had to find out where to go from there. Be it getting the yellow pages and looking up magic shops, to the yellow pages and looking up magicians, to if your parents hired the magician, having them ask if the magician gives lessons. Different things like that. Even going to the library and hoping they might have a Magic book on hand, which not a lot did. I hear a lot of magicians say, "Oh, I went to the library and got a Magic book." Never once have I ever found a Magic book in a library, so they are very lucky. If that would have been the case, I probably would have started learning sleight of hand, and I'd be much better today than I am now, with my 30 some odd years of experience. So, but we had to work really, really hard. And then when the internet became more available to people, more affordable to people. I've had the internet pretty much my whole life. I was born in the 80s. But when it became more commercialized and more available for everyone, we started seeing online magic shops, which was good for people who didn't have a magic shop in their area. I was fortunate. I grew up with a magic shop about an hour and a half away from where I live that we would go to once every couple of months. And then when we moved here, I had a magic shop within about 30-40 minutes from where I lived. So in Idaho, we had Joker's Wild. Actually, it was called Joker's Wild 2. And then here we had U.S. Toy Magic and Costume, which we actually had a few magic shops in the area because we have such a strong presence for the IBM headquarters is in St. Louis, I believe, or St. Charles, Missouri, and I think SAM might also be in the Missouri area. I might be wrong on that one, but we have a pretty strong presence for magic shops because we do have a strong presence for the magic clubs and magic community. So, but I was fortunate with that. So when online magic started popping up, you started getting people a little bit more interested. The problem is you had still a lot of sight unseen things. The nice part of going to a magic shop is you get to see a demo. Video online still sucked when magic shops online started popping up. So you get like a little postage stamp of a window demoing the trick if you're lucky to have a demo at all. But I think with the online magic shops that started, changing things a little bit in general. And then, those are also popping up in the peaks of LimeWire and people learning how to take their old VHS tapes and rip them to their computer to burn to CDs or digitizing to put online for like LimeWire and Morpheus and Kazam and all those, or Kazaa and all those services. And just the pirating alone has just skyrocketed. But it's left us into a place where people now, it's all about consumption, and people want that easy access. And YouTube, I think, is really what put the nail in the coffin for one, magic exposure, and people just wanting that, saying magic should be free. And for me personally, I don't think there has to be some barrier to entry. There has to be. You have to put in the work if you want to get something. Now, that's not to say you don't have friends in magic that you talk to and everything. Like if I go to a friend and I'm interested in this trick, and they share with me this, like something that they learned from a book or whatever, I think that's one thing. But when you're taking and sending an entire DVD to someone or giving them full access to something that you're paying for and sharing that, it becomes a big ethical thing. And I think ethics in magic is something that needs to stay strong. For a community that has to self-police so often, I think it's something that we have to keep up on. And I don't know the best way to do that. I don't know if it's possible to get that back. But eventually, the exposure is going to get so bad that it's going to be hard to do tricks. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, when people search for stuff on YouTube, like they're specifically looking for magic. And that's not true. So I started a fresh YouTube account and didn't look up anything magic at all. Nothing sleight of hand magic. None of the creators that I follow, nothing. And within about 2 weeks of just other interests, like board games, got me to magic tutorial videos being recommended to me. So you can get there without it. You can get those videos recommended to you without searching for them. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about this entitlement issue, but I do think that we need to, as a community, figure something out. And there's always going to be bad apples. There's always going to be bad seeds out there. They're going to ruin it for everybody, but eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually you don't see there being public blacklists of magicians that are found out for, and young people being found out for sharing logins, and it just goes out. It gets published like, hey, these are people that we found are sharing their usernames and passwords with other people. Do not allow them to join your site. Or these sites that we can join become super, super underground. like old wrestling dirt sheets. Things that you can only subscribe if you attend a convention. Things like that. So, because it's a lot of the young people, they're not, these people who feel entitled to everything, they're not going to conventions. They're not going to Magic conventions. So I don't know what we do. I think it's a big problem, though. I think if you're a person that does this, you should look back at, like, would you want someone doing that for your stuff? Take it out of Magic. If you think Magic should be shared, take it for something that you specialize in. Let's say you created some multi-billion-dollar thing, and people leaked everything about it where they could just go build it themselves. Would you be okay with that? So, I don't know. I'm out of things to say. I've rambled a little bit. It was just something that I saw the other day. I'm like, let me, make kind of a rambling Magic video on that. A rambling Corey's Insights. And kind of get your thoughts. What do you think? Has Magic become too accessible? Is the entitlement issue, does it just seem bigger because of we're hearing about it more, or is it really an entitlement issue? Like I said, I learned the old school way. I had mentors. I learned from books. For me, I'd much rather learn from a book than a DVD or a video. But I had to work for what I attained in Magic. So maybe if you got it a different way, if you didn't have to work so hard to attain, maybe you have a different opinion. But I would love to hear your thoughts. So let's have a conversation down below in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. I do care. I would like people to like my videos, but I realize I ramble a lot, and people aren't going to always agree with me. But I would love to open up for some discussion. And as always, I have links for the Discord for Magic in the Moment and Facebook group. Please feel free to join. We're looking for members, some engagement in there. Yeah, that's all I got. So thank you for checking out the video, and we'll catch you next time.